Hey geeks, I was just bagging up some comics here from a stack of basically 50-cent comics that I had for a while, going back about a month or so, I think, maybe more than a month. And just thought it'd be fun to kind of go through some of these real quick. This one here is from Top Cow, Spirit of the Tay. So let's take a look at this. Some 90s artwork for sure. I think Top Cow back then, they were doing a lot of kind of like these samurai or ninja themed Taoism, Taoism, Kung Fu type comics. Witchblade, I think that was a popular title. Didn't they make a couple of Witchblade movies? So yeah, I thought it was interesting. I've got a thing for kind of like Kung Fu fighting comics and whatnot. Solar Man of the Atom, I've been collecting these when I find them from Valiant. This one, it's got a chunk cut out of the first page. And then I was going through it, and again, there's like these panels that somebody cut out of this comic. And I think I know why. I think because somebody was making a collage, possibly. And then I noticed like this page here, like the whole middle panel was cut out. Yeah, so probably somebody was making like a comics collage. You know, I've done it. I've tried it. I've experimented with that before. You know, you buy a bunch of cheap comics, 25-cent comics, or cheaper if you can get them, and you cut panels out and stuff, and you incorporate them into your artwork. So, yeah, so too bad for this one. This one won't be getting a bag. In fact, I may just kind of carry on with the original idea of whoever had this to sort of cut these out for my own collage artwork. So, Starjammers was a Marvel comic. This was a good looking book. I liked it. I didn't read it, but I went through and looked at the artwork. I'm not familiar too much with Starjammers, but it's some sort of offshoot of X-Men. Or Shh, as I like to say, Crusade. So not a Top Cow, although I want to say that this book eventually made its way over to Top Cow Comics for some reason. But this is a really interesting book. I've been collecting these. I haven't read them yet. I'm trying to get more of a larger run together. But this is a really interesting book. I would look it up on the internet, do an internet search on it. The character's very interesting, and this is another ninja, kung fu, samurai warrior type comic. But it from what I recall from reading the background is like she's kind of like, I think she's adopted or something, and she has like this Catholic faith background, but she's been trained in the Eastern martial arts or something like that. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty interesting synopsis. I grabbed some of these, which I think I'm trying to put together a run on this. 2099 World of Tomorrow. This is another 90s comic from Marvel. Some of these were double-sized issues, so they were packing in, I think, around 30 pages or so, maybe 40 pages, before comics shrunk. I think the standard comic for Marvel DC now is like 22 pages, which is ridiculous. But and these were printed, I think, on kind of a Baxter paper. It was a higher quality paper than the old newsprint. But, you got some Doctor Doom action in this. 2099 was supposed to be sort of like this, dystopian future world series that Marvel was playing around with. They had certain titles. I think there was a Doom 2099. There definitely was an Iron Man 2099, which is how I first came across 2099. But I like the artwork in these. It was kind of manga-esque. Which in the 90s, these came out in 96, 97. not a lot of people in America were doing manga style art, but they were becoming awakened to it because of Frank Miller. So yeah, I got a few issues of these. I don't know how many issues this ran. Maybe 10, 12, 13, I don't know. But I got started with issue number 2, so I'm kind of looking out for others as I find them. This is just kind of a Squadron Supreme playbook. It just kind of goes through the characters, and again, this is another one of those comics. I'm sort of like collecting it, but I don't know too much about it. Brand new stuff, or pretty much brand new. Frazetta's Death Dealer. I think I've showed these before. Astrobots. So these were new. And then I've got, let's see what else we got here. Spectrum comic books. Survivors, first issue. So I know absolutely nothing about this, but I like it. It's cool. It's got some black and white artwork. This was what is the indicia? 1983. So this is what they like to refer to, I guess, as the black and white explosion in the 80s. A lot of self-published. It's weird because that's when I was at the height of my comic collecting as a 12 or 13-year-old enterprising young man using his lawnmower money cut from cutting grass to buy comics. And I never saw any these types of comics. I mean, they definitely didn't sell them on the Publix or Magic Market newsstand, but in the direct comic shops where I eventually began to buy my comics, I don't recall seeing stuff like this. Because right off the bat, we've got some space battle stuff. I would have bought something like this. You got a spider bot. I would have definitely, yeah. The 12-year-old in me would have definitely picked that up. The 55-year-old in me picked it up. So, yeah, I don't know how long this ran. What the series is about or whatnot. It's issue number 1, found it in the 50-cent bin, but who knows? I mean, if this shows up on the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel, it might be worth something, the Kayfabe effect. Which, by the way, if you guys aren't watching that channel now, I highly recommend it. It's the Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg are the 2 comics creators that got me back into the love of comic books, and helped me get through the COVID lockdowns, which is when I discovered their channel. So, interesting, cool stuff there. Samurai Guard from Colburn, issue number 2. So anything that's like samurai or ninja or Eastern thought or philosophy, ronins, mixed in with science fiction, all the better. I'm gonna grab it. So in fact, if you have any Jade Man comics, if you got any double issues, feel free to send them to me. Hit me up. Send me a DM or hit me up in the comments. I've been looking for those, but this looks pretty cool. Yeah, so this looks like feudal Japan. Some we got some magic, some sorcery, and so forth in there. Yeah, but yeah, I've never seen this before. He appears to be the villain. Oh, yeah, he's getting ready to do... Oh, he's shooting stuff out of his mouth. Okay, cool. Oh, here we go. There's some... Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah, so... Melodrama, for sure. Samurai melodrama. Mega from Stonebot. Salvador Sands, issue number 1. So, I don't know anything about this. It looks kind of kaiju. Also, I'm not, like I've mentioned before, I'm not a huge fan of kaiju comics. I just don't think kaiju translates to comics well. But let's see. I think I got this at Dragon Con. Not this past year, but the year before. So... looks interesting. It's pretty detailed artwork. Looks like probably like a lot of photo referenced artwork. But what's the payoff here? Is this like a monster comic or... Yeah. There we go. Here's the monster making its appearance. Everybody run! Cue up the dramatic music. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. So. Kaiju comic. Alright. Cool. I'm going to guess that the little girl has some kind of symbiotic connection to the monster. Let's see, comic shop news. This has a pretty good, got a pretty good cover promoting Blue Book issue number 1. So, that's cool. What else we got here? Oh, I found a copy of Batman Chronicles number 5. So, if you go back quite a few videos, one of my first 2 or 3 or 4th video was the Batman kill list from Batman Chronicles number 1. Still one of my personal favorite videos, but this is in good shape. Yeah, these are good to pick up. I mean, they're chronological Batman, starting with Detective Comics issue 56, where he makes his first appearance. And then just kind of branches out here, as you can see, World's Finest Comics, the Batman title, is still going with Detective Comics. So I don't know how many volumes there are of this, but I mean, you know, it's, look at that. That's crazy. That's, that's hilarious, man. I love mad scientists. Yeah, you know, you can't go wrong with this stuff. That's a lot of entertainment and enjoyment right there. Dawn Attack, another one of the Frank Frazetta books. This is newish. This is issue number 4, variant cover number B. So I still haven't gotten around to reading these, but it's you know, it's sword and sorcery. This one is actually kind of a sword and sorcery sci-fi blend, if I remember correctly. This one came bagged. Frank Miller Presents Ancient Enemies, issue number 4. So I haven't sat down and read all these yet, but this is a variant, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's a variant cover. So I've been collecting those, as well as Ronin number 2, Ronin 2, which we're going to get into. Blade Runner 2039, issue number 1. I haven't been collecting a lot of the Blade Runner comics because I wasn't aware of them. This is issue number 1 of this particular title, so I figured it was worth checking out. I'm on the fence about Blade Runner in the comics. I definitely prefer the movies. And I think there's a TV show coming up. So, The Expanse, Dragon Tooth, is this issue number 2. So, yeah, I've been collecting these because I'm a fan of The Expanse. I've turned on some of my friends to these. And I got these in doubles because, you know, I'm expecting them to be worth something, or I might give this other one to my brother. He's a huge Expanse fan. More Dawn Attack. So these are new comics here. So I'm gonna bag all these. Here's Blue Book. Issue number 4. So yeah, I probably need to go fill in some of these gaps actually for some of these ones I'm collecting. Spawnhenge, which this is a variant I think of actually Starhenge, if I remember correctly. But this is a cool book. The artwork in here is painted artwork, and I really like painted comics. If you go and look at my video for Dr. Midnight, those are painted comics, and you know, I just love painted comics. Oh yeah, something else that's cool. I've had this for a while. If you've had a chance to read this, do so. Paul Grist's Kane. This is volume number 1. This is a fantastic police drama, noir crime comic. There's a sequence in here that starts out in the beginning where his partner where his partner sneaks into a church where there's a guy that's holding a baby hostage, and Detective Kane is there trying to talk the guy out of doing anything stupid. He's talking to him. He's trying to get him to give up, to give up the baby. And yeah, this is that sequence here. And it just reads so well. The way it's done is just very fluid. It's done very cinematically. I mean, it's hard to create tension on a comic book page, especially in a movie theater or cinematic experience type way. And the way that Grist does his artwork, I mean, it's so simplistic, but it's so effective, and there's so much use of black inking. I mean, it's a black and white comic, obviously, but there's just, you can tell from this page, there's a ton of usage of just offsetting black. And I think, she shows up while the hostage standoff is going. She's a rookie. Turns out later on we discover that she's like the chief's daughter. Kane is not very well liked. That's him on the left. And here he is trying to reason with this individual, and he's holding the baby. And so they create the tension begins to ramp up with the dialogue on this page. And then you have like panels like this where there's no dialogue at all. It's just him reacting to whatever this guy is saying, and they keep kind of flashing back. So then they pick up the action again. So it's splitting. So if you can think of a movie where you've got two scenes going concurrently, they're switching from one scene to another. One scene is a flashback in time, kind of setting the stage for the scene that's current. This is the scene that's current in the church. So she's sneaking in now. And then you can see in these panels, it kind of flashes back. It gives you more backdrop as to what's going on in the current scene where she's sneaking into the church. And you can see she's coming in behind him. He doesn't know that she's there. It's just a fantastically done sequence in comic books that I actually don't see very often in terms of just the way the tension is created in these panels. And it really hooked me from the very beginning with this comic. I first came across this, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago. It was deep into the run. It was like volume 8. As I mentioned, this is volume number 1. And so I didn't know what the heck was going on. I went back and was like, I really need to start from the beginning to see what's going on. And and the payoff was worth it. I think I read this like in one sitting. It was, I really can't say enough about this comic book. And I think there is a total of maybe 8, maybe 6. I could be mistaken. Could be 6 or 7 volumes. I don't know. But they're collected. The original issues were Image Comics. So, but I'm collecting the trade paperbacks, and I've got a couple more. I couldn't find volume 2. I think I've got volume 3. So looking forward to just kind of reading that whole series. Here's that Snake Plissken comic again I showed before in the past. I think it's awesome. I really got to find other issues of this. So anyway, I'm going to get back to bagging these, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And stay tuned for other episodes. As Snake Plissken would say, stay geek. I thought you was dead. All right, take care.